I thought that night was going to change my life for the better. I didn't know it was actually the beginning of everything falling apart. The party was loud, crowded, and full of people pretending they were happier than they really were. My husband and I had arrived together, but we weren't really together anymore, not emotionally. We stood side by side, smiled at the right moments, and spoke only when necessary. From the outside, we looked fine. Inside, I felt invisible. That's when I met him. Before I continue, take a second to subscribe. These are real-life stories about choices, consequences, and lessons people learn too late. If stories like this matter to you, you're in the right place. He was confident in a way that felt effortless. Well-dressed, charming, the kind of man who seemed to know exactly where he was going in life. He introduced himself as working in finance, investments, consulting. Big words that sounded impressive, especially compared to the silence I felt standing next to my husband. He noticed me, really noticed me. He asked questions, he listened. He laughed at my jokes like they mattered, and for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. My husband drifted away to talk to someone he knew, and I didn't follow. I told myself it was harmless, just conversation, just a drink, just a break from feeling lonely in my own marriage. The finance guy stood close, but not too close. He knew how to make it feel natural. He talked about travel, ambition, freedom. He made my life sound small without ever insulting it, and somehow that made me want more. At one point, he asked if I wanted to step outside, just to get some air, he said. I didn't look back at my husband. That's the part that still hurts to admit. Outside, the music was quieter. The night felt open. Possibility hung in the air. He told me I deserved more than routine, more than being taken for granted. I didn't correct him. I didn't defend my husband. I stayed silent. When he leaned in and kissed me, I didn't stop him. I told myself it was just a moment, just chemistry, just something that didn't mean anything yet. But when I went back inside, I couldn't bring myself to stand next to my husband again. I felt like a stranger, guilty, awake in a way I hadn't been in years. I made an excuse, said I wasn't feeling well, said I needed to go home early. My husband offered to leave with me. I told him no. I said I'd get a ride. That was the moment I chose someone else. I left the party with the finance guy. I told myself I was finally choosing happiness, that I was brave for not settling, that my marriage had been over long before that night. For the next few weeks, everything felt intense and exciting. Messages all day, late-night calls, plans that sounded big but were always vague. He talked about deals he was closing, money moving around, clients overseas. He paid for dinners, always in cash. He said he didn't like mixing business and banks. There were little red flags. I saw them, I ignored them. He never invited me to his place, said he was between apartments. He avoided social media, said it was a distraction. He always met me on his schedule. When I asked questions, he joked his way out of them. Meanwhile, my marriage was collapsing. My husband was confused, hurt, and trying to understand what happened. I didn't tell him the truth. I said I needed space. I said I wasn't happy. I made it sound mutual even though it was. Watching his face break was harder than I expected. He asked if there was someone else. I said no. That lie still sits heavy in my chest. Then one afternoon, everything changed. I was at a cafe waiting for the finance guy. He was late again. While scrolling on my phone, I opened a local community group by accident. Someone had posted a warning about a man scamming women. The description felt familiar, too familiar. Same first name, same job description, same charming personality. My stomach dropped. I clicked the comments. Women shared stories, different cities, same pattern, big talk, no proof, money borrowed, disappeared. Then someone posted a photo. It was him. I felt sick. I called him immediately, straight to voicemail. I messaged. No reply. I drove to one of the places he liked to meet. He wasn't there. That night, I did something I should have done months earlier. I searched deeper. And that's when I found her. His girlfriend. They had been together for years. Her profile was public, photos of trips he claimed he took for work, inside jokes he had repeated to me, even dates that overlapped with nights he told me he was working late. I wasn't special, I wasn't chosen, I was convenient. When I finally confronted him by message, he didn't deny it, he didn't apologize. He blamed me for being naive, then he blocked me. Just like that, he was gone. And I was left with the damage. My marriage was over, my husband had moved out, trust was shattered beyond repair. When I finally told him the truth, it didn't lead to closure, it just confirmed what he already feared. He looked at me and said, I would have fought for us if you had talked to me, but you didn't. That was when I realized the real loss wasn't the fraud. It was the man I walked away from thinking he would always be there. I had traded something real for something shiny and empty. The finance guy lost nothing, he moved on, probably found someone else. I lost my husband, my stability, my sense of self. I spent a long time replaying that night at the party, the moment I chose not to look back, the moment I believed excitement was the same as happiness.
It is.
Here, what I learned the hard way, confidence without character is dangerous. Attention without honesty is a trap, and if someone encourages you to walk away from your life instead of fixing it, they're not saving you, they're using you. If you're feeling invisible in your relationship, speak up. If you're lonely, be honest. Don't let someone else convince you that running away is the same as moving forward. I thought I left my husband for something better. I was wrong. If this story made you think, subscribe for more real-life stories about love, mistakes, and the lessons people learn when it's already too late.